So, hello everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of our brand new webinar series, Driving ROI through AI, where we take AI out of the lab and into your business. I'm Chris Nguyen, your host today, and the topic, one of the fastest moving, most disruptive industries out there, retail and e-commerce. And why are we starting here? Because retail isn't just changing, it's being reprogrammed. Customers expect personalization, real-time engagement, and seamless service. So companies are turning to AI to deliver that, but they're asking like, how do I make actually drive return on investment? And what does success look like? How do I start without wasting time or budget? So that's what today is about. In this meeting, we walk through what's really happening in AI in retail, how top brands are using AI to drive measurable value, and how you can take back and apply right now. So to guide us through the insights is someone who has seen it all, right? So let's meet the speakers for today's section. We have Chris Nguyen, and I am the Senior Manager for AI and Strategic Partnerships at Techvify. I work closely with our clients across Asia Pacific and beyond to help them connect with the right solutions and translate AI from strategy into business value. So, but the real star today is not me. It's the guy sitting virtually next to me, Eric Nguyen. Eric is our VP of Revenue and Partnerships at Techvify. He's the go-to guy when businesses come to us asking, where do we even start with AI and how do we scale it? How fast can we see results? So he has worked with retailers, e-commerce platforms, e-commerce enablers, and enterprise brands across Southeast Asia, Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong, APAC region, and also Europe and the USA as well, helping them deploy AI in a way that actually moves KPIs. So, Eric, welcome aboard. You ready to drop some insight?
Yep, absolutely, Chris, and thank you for the introduction. I think I'm very excited to dig into what's really happening in the world of AI power retail, right? And what business can actually do about it.
All right, all right. Sounds promising. And finally, we have Ethan Nguyen, our lead technical consultant. Ethan is one who brings the tech to life. He advises our clients on solution design, system architecture, and how to make AI work within real business constraint. He'll be joining us later in this section for the live Q&A, and we'll dig into implementation, technical readiness, and practical steps. So, Ethan, you have anything to say to everybody?
Hi, nice to meet you all. I'm eager to talk with you in this event.
All right, thank you, Ethan. Welcome. Let's get into it. Starting with how today's retail customers have changed and what brands must do to keep it up, right? So, yeah, welcome to the first episode of Driving Our Life with AI. So, in the first one, um, let's say the topic today it's going to be about retail and e-commerce and why though? Because retail and e-commerce are no longer just about having an online store or running ads. They are about building smarter, faster, and more personalized experience that scale across channels, devices, and customer expectations that keep changing even overnight. And here's the thing, AI is no longer the future. It is happening now. But the key questions that many leaders still face is how do we implement AI in a way that actually can deliver return on investment, not just dashboards and delays. So that's why we are here. At Techvify, we have worked closely with retailers and e-commerce enablers across Asia, helping them launch real-world AI initiatives, from AI-powered assistant to demand forecasting or dynamic customer engagement. But what we have learned is the technology is here, the opportunity is real, but the gap between ambition and execution, that's where most businesses get stuck. Right? Um, so before we, let's say before we get into the real action, uh, The reason why we have this webinar is that we've been in the market, we've been in the field, and we partner with multiple retailers and e-commerce platforms across Asia. Like I said, there's a real hesitation in the market, and there'll be some of them. Many brands struggle with the how behind AI return on investment. They don't know exactly how to calculate all of those metrics or how these metrics can work for their organizations. And we have run a study a couple of months ago on our retail clients, and it shows that 40% of the retailers, let's say less than 40%, know how to calculate return on AI investment. It is something, let's say, trending in the market, but like I said, it is something new. So not everybody know exactly how we can do it. And the confidence of it, well, because people don't know how to, calculate return. So the confidence is right now quite low. So in fact, one conversation I had with a client summed up it perfectly. So he told me, Chris, I know AI can help, but I just don't know how to measure success. And I can't sell that to my bots unless I do. So that's trigger this section. Okay. So let's move on to the next one, which is the main part of today's section. It will be the keynote AI database of in retail by Eric Nguyen. So not just talk AI, but talk impact. So let's dive in and starting with what's changed in today's customer and what that means for how you sell, how you serve, and how you scale with the client. Okay, so let's move on to the new customer standard. All right, so the customer has changed. They are more informed, more impatient, and honestly, more spoiled than ever before. Eric, what are the big shifts you are seeing when it comes to customer expectations in retail?
Yep, absolutely. I think like overall the bar right has been raised like much higher than before, and the client the expectation is through the roof at the moment. Today, basically, they expect us, like the retailer or the brand, to know what they themselves want before they even do, or even before they realize they need it. Like currently, right, 63% of consumers expect tailor recommendation, and 74% of them show frustration when they are recommended with irrelevant content. And increasingly, even when they are encounter problem or question, they don't really want to talk to human unless they want to. And of course, like waiting for a human's customer service to come and answer their question, if it take too long, yeah, that will cause complaint. So it's not just about being
Mm.
present on digital channel anymore, right? It's about delivering relevant answer, relevant information, and speed at scale. Yeah.
Okay, right. So let's say they don't compare your website or chatbot to your competitors anymore. They compare you to Amazon, to Shopee, Lazada, right? To Netflix, Spotify. So the pressure is real, even for mid-sized brands. And we've seen it, haven't we? Like the beauty brand in Singapore you worked with, I
Yep.
believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like exactly right because like most of the brand they have their own problem, and like the one you mentioned, they came to us with a really high bound rate but and a really low conversion rate. So we had them implement behavior based product recommendation, a technology that before the use of AI is super hard and super expensive to do. But currently with AI, product recommendation tailor-made for each kind of customer is now becoming much easier to achieve. And with that, they've seen a 21% increase in conversion rate, 50% lift in average order value, and a 35% increase in time on site, all within the first 6 weeks of launch.
Okay. And the tech wasn't rocket science, just smart use of existing data, right?
Because like I think the beauty of AI in this context is like the speed and the scale of it, right? You can start small, you can test fast, and you can see the impact without waiting for like 6 months to actually see the ROI on it.
Okay. So the demand is clear. Customers want faster, smarter, and more relevant experiences. But delivering on that means having the right engine behind the scenes. And that's what we're talking about next, where AI really shows up behind the curtain, right? Let's talk about inventory intelligence. So let's talk about something that keeps every retailer up at night, inventory. So it's not flashy, I think it's not sexy, but it's mission critical. Eric, walk us through what the real codes of poor forecasting looks like today.
Yep. So like globally, I think like retailer lose about 1.75 trillion USD each year just from stock out and overstock, right? So think about that. You're either sitting on excess inventory, or you're losing sales because your shelves are empty, or you're losing customer because like your competitor have the good and you don't. So now the AI is the one that changed the game here, right? With the demand forecasting model that can analyze the sale history, the seasonality, the promotion, and even external factor like, hey, what trending on X, what trending on Facebook, what trending on TikTok at the moment, the retailer can cut the cost forecasting error by 30 to 50%.
Okay, that's huge. And we have actually done it recently. Remember that fashion retailer case? They came to us with constant sell-out issues in some skills, in some SKUs, and they stopped piling up everywhere. Right.
Yeah. Yep. So we just work with the sales and merchandise team to deploy a Lightweight AI model, right? Using existing data, actually, there's no new data in that kind of project. Yeah. So we utilize their POS data and seasonality chain, and in just under 3 months, they see the improvement in forecast accuracy by 42%, reduce the debt stock by nearly 20%, and significantly improve the working capital turnover. And I think the best part is that like this is were not some kind of huge digital transformation project. This was just like a lean pilot with fast result.
Okay. So the message is very clear. Better for gas, faster turns, and less wait. I believe that big names in the market are running a better in, let's say, inventory intelligence as well, such as like Walmart, as we can see on the screen, right? Walmart has been using AI for inventory and demand for a couple of years now, and I believe that they have done some crazily good job in growing. So expectedly, it's going to be 98 billion by 2020 by 2032. So it's a very huge amount of money for sure, right? So let's move from the warehouse to the storefront because I believe that AI is also transforming how customers discover and interact with our products. So that's where a very common and trending terms in the market, which is generative AI, comes in. So let's move on to the next one. Gen AI in retail, from browsing to buying with a spark of AI. Okay. So can you tell me a little bit about technically what sort of like AI in retail is, Eric?
Yep. So like I think Gen AI in retail, it can contribute into many aspects, right? From the first touch point of the client is which is browsing the good
Yeah.
to buying. Yeah. So AI, Gen AI in the overall now it just doesn't just stop as search or like conduct a customer service conversation anymore. It follow the customer across all of their touch point. It's remembering their reference, it anticipating their intent and driving the journey forward. For example, right, the generative AI can recommend complementary product right after the purchase, trigger personalized follow-up via chatbot or email, or re-engage abandoned cart with context-aware nudge. For example, like even Amazon, the generative AI can customize special discount scheme for each type of client depends on their cart. And it's like having a digital store associate who know your customer at every stage and follow them.
Wow, that's good. That's good. So it's funny, one of our clients said it's like we gave every shopper their own version of our best salesperson. But the good thing is that salesperson will work 24/7. So we helped them build a GPT-powered assistant that not only helped with product selection, but remember past interactions and nudge customer based on those. So that one feature alone can drive a 50% increase in repeat purchases.
Yep, exactly. And I think like one point that like not all of us aware is that it's keep evolving, right? AI is not just gonna stop there, and it's just not gonna like stay there and answer a very simple question. The more data you feed them, the more data the model see, the more relevant and effective it's going to become. And we're seeing this part of AI turn casual visitor into loyal customer with
Hmm.
very little minimal human intervention. Yeah.
Okay. So the opportunity is huge, and AI can support the full shopper life cycle. But the question still stands, if all of this is possible, why aren't more retailers doing it? So that's where we need to talk about execution gap. Uh, let's say, so here's a big tweet in the story. Despite all of the promise of AI, most businesses haven't crossed the bridge. Eric, talk to me more about what we are seeing in the market when it comes to actual implementation.
Yeah. So I think this is what we call the execution gap, right? I mean, like AI is now has just become a very big buzzword that a lot of companies going to be interested in, and some of them have already even tried it, right? They maybe even run a small pilot already, but like when it comes to scaling AI or tying it to business outcome, that's where the progress is going to be stalled. Yeah. So like only 33% retailer have fully implemented AI into their e-commerce operation. Meanwhile, about 47% of them are still in the experimental phase.
Okay. So what is holding them back? What's
Yeah,
keeping the other 67%, you said, from jumping in?
yeah. I think there's kind of like the three main thing, right? The first one is that unclear return on investment. The team doesn't really know what the success going to be like.
Hmm.
Second thing is the data silos, right? Maybe the right data exists or it doesn't exist, but it's also going to be messy or scattered everywhere. And the third one is the lack of internal talent or the fear of needing massive tech investment or overhaul. But I think like the truth is that for AI in this stage, you don't need to boil the ocean and invest any kind of huge
Eric,
capital
are you
into
still
it.
with it?
Sorry?
Okay, it seems like a very minor networking issue.
Yeah. Okay. I think like overall for AI, we can start small, run a focused pilot, and provide value in 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good, sounds good. Right, so we have done that exactly, right? So like the conversational AI pilot we launched with a retail client, I believe. I built in 3 weeks, deliver value fast, and it became their full-scale virtual assistant in less than, I believe, like 2 months.
Yep. So like the things is like we can customize the solution, and this doesn't need to be very huge or like take a long time. So it's not about launching a huge transformation program and AI is going to be the God and Savior to come and save everything, right? So it's about moving fast, staying focused, and measuring on what matters. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So just like Andrew Ng, one of the main persons in the market when it comes to AI, he's now, if I believe, he's the founder of deep learning AI. So he said that the best AI investments don't just experiment, they scale, and they focus on use cases tied directly to revenue. So yeah, we gotta see the revenue. We gotta do things with our, let's say, goal, right? So let's move on to the next one. What does it take to actually make AI work in the real world? So, all right, we have seen what's possible with AI, but how do you actually get there without months of planning or $1 million budget. So, Eric, this is where I think that Techvify's approach really stands out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like this is a try and true approach, and we have already done successfully with many of our partner, right? Because like the truth is that the most business they don't fail at AI because of the bad tools, right? They fail because they don't know where to start or how to scale. And what we found is that the success comes down to three main things. The first one is that we need to start with a clear business problem, right? We start from the business to solve the business issue, not with the tech. The second one is that we should run a fast pilot, 4 to 8 week pilot. That's enough time to show and prove that the solution work or not and show ROI already. And the third one is that we base the project on measurable real KPI, not vanity metric. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So, and those KPIs matter. I believe that when we run AI pilots, we look at the stuff that business leaders actually care about. Could be CSAT, right? CSAT. Are the customers happy? And CES is the experience smoother and more efficient, right? NPS. Are users likely to recommend you? So, if we are not moving those numbers, I believe we are not doing it right. Am I right?
Yep. Yeah. So like is one of our retail client they saw a 60% decrease in time to resolution after launching an AI
Interesting.
power assistant. Another one boosted the NPS by over 20 points just by improving the post-purchase engagement through predictive prompt. And I mean, these are just from pilot project, but they are not small win, right? They become a competitive advantage that differentiate them from their competitor.
Okay. So if you're thinking, this all sounds great, but where do we begin? Start with something that is like doable, measurable, and strategic. Whether it's personalizing a customer experience, optimizing operations, or automating support, you can get real return on investment very, very fast with the right support. And speaking of support, we are not just here to present all of those information and slides. Let's open things up for your questions. So joining us now is our lead technical consultant, Ethan, to go deeper into how to make this real in your environment. Right. So thank you, Eric. We have talked strategy. We've seen examples. Let's open it up. All right. So it's going to be the third part of our webinar today, Q&A section. As our expert anything by our very own Ethan Nguyen, lead technical consultant. All right. So let's kick off. I believe that we have received a couple of questions before the webinar. So we will try to go with those pre-submit questions first. Yeah, Ethan has worked directly with clients to design and implement scalable AI solutions, from GenAI power assistants to demand forecasting engines and even more. So if you have any questions directly to Ethan, just need to, you just need to drop your question in our Q&A section, and we'll try to answer as many as possible. All right. So we actually had a great question come in from a retail operational manager earlier this week. So she asked, we want to implement AI, but our customer data is messy and scattered across tools. Can we still get started? Ethan?
Yeah, that's a great question, and one we hear often. The short answer is yes, we absolutely can do it. We don't need a perfect data to begin. We typically recommend starting with a small, clean data like the chat logs, and using that to pilot the specific use case. Then as you scale, we have iterate and normalize all the sources over time. So the key is don't wait until everything is perfect. Start where you are and build momentum. I would like to give you an example. Recently, we had a chance to work with a very big securities company in Thailand. Previously, they had defined more than 500 use cases that can apply AI into, and one of them is applying the it's about the translating and summarizing the reports uh, for details. So the company, they got several branches in many Asian countries like Vietnam, Indonesia, Singapore, or Laos. And every week, the company, the branch will send many reports about the companies, the local companies. So they will take it to translate into the time for the investor to see and to invest into the local companies. But the team size is small, so the output is very small. I just provide about 2 or 3 reports per week. So we consult them to apply AI into these activities, and we can improve the productivity very much. So we don't need to reduce the team size, but the team people now become the reviewer and approver for the output of the AI. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, that's awesome. I believe it's going to be a very good way to approach for many, many similar businesses. Another one we got from a digital marketing lead was how long does it usually take to see the return on investment from an AI pilot? Assuming, let's say we start small. Ethan?
That that's a great question again, but it depends on the use case. For something like an AI-powered chatbot or product recommendation engine, like we just mentioned above, we soon can see result in of little as 6 to 8 weeks. Metrics like conversion rates or reduced CTR move quickly when we pilot is scope well. So the key is we pick problem with clear scope of work or KPI, keep the scope tight and measure aggressively. Yeah.
Okay, that's super helpful. All right, let's open it up to the rest of you. Feel free to drop your questions in the Q&A or the chat, and we'll take them live. We've got Ethan and Eric here to go as deep as you want. Right. So I have seen a few questions from our uh, listeners today. So the first one, I believe that Ethan would take a while. So let's go with a questions for Eric. All right. So how do we decide which AI use case to prioritize first? Eric, can you answer this question for Tracy?
Yeah. Okay. So like what I said in the webinar before, right? Why to apply I what to apply I must come from the your business problem. So basically, at Techvify, we will approach the AI with a very careful approach. Basically, we will have our consultant and our business analyst to talk with the business owner to identify what area that AI can provide the most impact. We will also provide a detailed roadmap for all of our consulting and the expectation ROI when you apply our recommend AI solution. So before we decided like what to do and what AI can apply, the business owner or our client can have a very clear vision and the overall picture of the AI technology application. Yeah.
Yeah, I see, I see. We always recommend starting with a business plan, let's say business pain point. That's both measurable and solvable with existing data. That's good. So the next question is going to be for Ethan. Do we need a large in-house tech team to deploy AI? Thank you, Vance, for such a wonderful question.
Not at all. We often serve as the technical arm during the implementation phase. Some of clients only need internal products or marketing owners. We handle all the rest. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So do you have any real use case with some clients for this question, Ethan?
Yeah, like the recommendation because I had a visit in Thailand a couple months ago, and almost the companies they they had mentioned about building a recommendation system for their in-house system or the retail e-commerce system. And when we come back to the office, we built a recommendation system based thanks to the generative AI and latest technologies. And they we have applied them into many our customer system, and they were very happy with the outcome. Yeah.
Okay, very nice. So next question is what industries beyond retail are seeing fast AI ROI? Eric, can you help us with the question?
Okay, sure. I think like overall there are many kind of industry that we can apply beside retail, right? Like we can do basically logistic, banking, healthcare, education. Anywhere there's data and there's decision making based on data,
Yeah.
AI can deliver value. Yeah. But like retail remain one of the fastest mover because of the in increasing in customer expectation. Yeah.
Okay, okay, sounds good. So yeah, I believe that we have answered a few of the questions from our listeners today. All right, before we wrap up, I would like to have a look back at what we have covered today. So in just under an hour, we have talked about how AI can, let's say AI is no longer optional in retail. So it's the new standard for staying relevant and competitive. We talked through how brands are using AI to personalize the scale, such as like Sephora, right? Forecasting demand more accurately, just like Walmart, reducing operational costs while improving customer experience, and measuring impacts with real KPIs, such as like CSAT, CES, NPS, TTR, right? And we tackled the toughest part, which is like the execution gap. How fast pilots, the right data, and a business-first mindset can help you move from idea to real return on investment. And more importantly, we hope we show you that you don't need to overhaul everything to start. A well-scoped AI pilot can deliver real results in only like 6 to 8 weeks, under 2 months. Impressive, right? And we have helped multiple clients do exactly that. So this is just episode one, the first one in this series. But the impact of AI on retail is very real and very now. Thank you again for joining us for episode one of Driving Our Life with AI. It's been a pleasure hosting you, and huge thanks to Eric and Ethan for sharing their insights, and to all of you for your time and energy. If today sparked some ideas and you would like to explore how AI can help your business specifically, we'd love to continue the conversation. So just reply to the follow-up email that we sent you after this webinar, or connect with me or our team via LinkedIn. You'll also get a recording and key takeaways, and also this slide via email with full of insightful numbers, plus a sneak peek for episode two coming soon, which I will spoil a little bit. It's going to be about energy sector. But before that, we have another podcast to talk and to delve deeper into retail and e-commerce if you have any more relevant questions for your businesses. All right. So yeah, that's it from us for now, for today. And thank you for joining Techvify. And we'll see you in the next episode very, very soon. Thank you, everyone.